Hello beautiful people, my name is Matilda and welcome to Life With Me. In today's Life With Me, we are joined by the lovely Matthew. We recently got engaged. At the beginning of March, on the 4th of March, we left to Thailand, Matt and I. We had planned to be away for 6 weeks and we had a flight home for the 14th of April. And this was kind of at the beginning of this pandemic, especially in Europe. So we had no idea where this actual coronavirus situation was gonna end up. I think like everyone.
There were less cases in Thailand than there were in England, so why wouldn't we go to a place with less cases and better weather? So.
Exactly. We stayed for a total of 3 weeks. In those first 2 weeks, the situation was more or less under control. It started rising more and more in the UK. We missed the whole panic buying. But at the same time, as days passed by, we had more and more just conversation with, you know, my parents who are in Spain and Matt's parents who are here in the UK. And the gravity of the situation started escalating a little more. We had traveled to a very, very southern island called Gomuk, which is near the province of Trang. So a week and a day ago, we were chilling in our bungalow in Gomuk. Gomuk has really not many people at all. One of the most friendliest Thai people as well that I've ever met. It's such a small kind of deserted island. We were relaxing there and we had been going back and forth on what to do. There had been growing concerns from like our parents and other family and friends as to if we should come back earlier or not. We hadn't heard anything from the airline, so we thought everything should be absolutely fine. We would be able to come home on the 14th of April, and kind of my main instincts was just, let's just ride it out. And then we started receiving news that there was an increase in cases in Bangkok. Everything happened all at once and really quickly.
On the 21st, we talked to some English tourists, English travellers who had travelled into Gomuk, and they were saying that they'd been in Bangkok and that everything was crazy and places are shutting down. Then obviously we knew that massage parlours and some places were all closing down as well, so that made us a little bit worried. But we had a jolly old merry time and had a few drinks, and then that evening it was kind of like we were both a bit concerned because we had heard a lot of stuff. A lot of places were closing down. The place where we were staying was going to be closing down as well, and then we were thinking, how many places are going to close? That night we kind of said to each other, you know, what do we do? Do we stay? Do we go? So on the 22nd,
also to mention, like, things had been happening. Like, we had planned the week after to volunteer in an animal shelter that was on another island close by, and then that had been cancelled. So there was slowly but surely like a growing concern of like, oh, what happens if we stay out here and everything starts shutting down?
I'm kind of nervous. I don't really want to be here and nervous. We came to the conclusion of we'll stay, but we'll just keep our ear to the ground and kind of see what happens. 22nd, we emailed and we asked. The next day we were waiting for confirmation, but we weren't entirely sure. But by the end of the day, whilst we were sitting in a lovely bar in Gomuk having cocktails, we kind of decided, like, okay, maybe it's a good idea for us to start heading back. And that was, funnily enough, without anyone saying further, you guys need to come back and all this. It was like, okay, let's start thinking about heading back. Next day we wake up and it's a very different story.
So we had also planned the next day to go with some friends it was like a private boat ride to a place called Korok, which was an island that was quite close by. Supposedly like amazing snorkeling. So excited to do that. And then we wake up on Tuesday the 24th and we wake up to like messages from friends and family that the Monday, so obviously because we're 7 hours ahead of the UK, so we woke up to a bunch of messages from friends and family saying, sending us the information that the government had now said to all UK nationals, we urge you to come home now, as flights will be cancelled soon as the country prepares to go on lockdown. So we cancelled our trip with our friends. That's fine, we're gonna just email again and try calling the travel company, and we couldn't talk to anyone because of course everyone was asleep. It was a different time zone. So we were like, okay, we're not really sure exactly what to do, and we decided, well, I thought, okay, I'm just gonna go to the beach for just a little while because I didn't know how urgent the situation would be. You know, does it mean go home today, or does it mean go home in like 2 days? You know, we weren't sure.
People back home were saying, we recommend people who are abroad start finding their way back.
We went to the beach and like it was so lovely. I'm really glad we did go to the beach for a little bit. I flew my drone and then I went for a swim, and when I came back from my swim, Matt had received a message.
Yeah, so I received a message from a guy called Peter, who was one of the English tourists who had kind of given us some more information. They had their ear to the ground, and they were like, did you see the new thing the government are saying, that, you know, within 24 hours, 48 hours, they estimate that it's going to be very hard to get back home. And
they were leaving like the next day.
Yeah.
It was 11:30 and we knew that the last boat back to the mainland was at 2 p.m. So it was 11:30. We were like, okay. So we quickly rushed back to the bungalow, and I must say, Matt was absolutely amazing in this stressful time. I was so stressed. We didn't know what to do. We were like, okay. So I started looking for flights online, but then anytime we went to actually book anything, because we just thought, okay, we'll just buy a new flight. Hopefully, you know, we were trying to find the cheapest thing, which was going to take us like 30 hours to get home. And we just thought we'll just claim it on the travel insurance after. We really didn't know what was the best course of action. So Matt then went and organized with our host from the actual bungalow. She was amazing. Matt went and talked to her, and I was looking for flights. And Kukai said that there was no more boats leaving at that stage. For some reason, the 2 o'clock boat was not going to leave anymore. We don't know if that had to do with the virus and closing down borders. We literally had no idea why. So that made us even more stressed, because we thought, okay, we are probably about a day away from Bangkok. I mean, and we wanted to kind of avoid airports as much as possible. Then Kukai managed to organize a private boat back to the mainland for us, and bus tickets from Trang bus station all the way to Bangkok. So that was such amazing help, wasn't it? We have to leave the island now. In the space of like 12 hours, everything has changed. And we have been kind of advised to come back to the UK as soon as possible. People are going crazy over flights online. We haven't been able to book a flight online. There are no more public boats from the island to the mainland. Flights are going like really fast. Everything's moving so fast, and we need to get back to the UK. It's said, we'll see what happens, but it's predicted that in 48 hours the UK will kind of close all the main flights, and it'll be very difficult to go home. So the lovely lady from the place that we're staying at has helped us. They got us a private boat from like a friend, taking us to the island, to Trang, and then we have a night bus back to Bangkok, and we're just gonna wait in the airport and see how that turns out. So I thought I'd take you guys along for it, and for good or for bad, you guys can see our experience trying to leave Thailand in these crazy times. And we made our way back to Trang. We got to Trang, everything was fine. And then we went to the bus station and just waited. The urgency to come back to the UK was growing higher and higher, so we were starting to get a little bit worried, would we get a flight? Okay, it is now hour 6 since we began our journey. Leaving Komuk, got to Trang all safely, really nice and easy, and now we are finally, the bus arrived, we're on the bus heading to Bangkok, and it's a really nice bus. So Matt has the best mask, honestly. Of course, we're washing our hands lots and not touching our face, all of this, because we were in contact with a lot of people on the bus. And then we got to the bus station, got a taxi to the airport. At that stage it had become illegal not to wear a mask in Bangkok, so we were very happy we had one. And so we got to the airport at around I want to say 8 a.m. on the 25th of March, Wednesday 25th. And we literally, the first thing we did as we walked through, they were testing everyone, so we got tested as well.
We got our temperature checked by a machine.
Fever gun.
A fever gun. We got our temperature checked by a machine, which both gave us the green light to go forward. Literally, they give you a green sticker to say if you're healthy.
So we were all fine to go through, and then we went to Thai Airways desk, and we didn't even really know what to do at this stage. Or we had received some advice saying, just don't take a refund. They have to make sure you get home. We talked to someone in Thai Airways, and at this stage our flight had then been, instead of the 14th, it had been cancelled, and then we got another flight for the 15th. So she first didn't understand very well that we already had a flight booked with them, so it was going to cost us, what was it, 900 each we were
going to have to go on standby.
Yeah, we had to go on standby, and then for a flight that day, which already there was some people in front of us on standby, which we didn't know at that stage, and it was going to cost us 900 each. But then I talked to her further and said, no, we already have a flight with you that we don't know, we are urged to come home now. And then we also found out from some other travelers that on the 31st of March, Thai Airways was suspending all flights. So we knew this kind of unofficially, so we also mentioned that. And then she said, oh, okay, I didn't realize you had a flight already with us. So she said, you are both on standby now to get back as soon as possible, and the flight won't cost you any money. So please go wait at this desk. It's like the standby desk, and go and check in with them.
Hi, this is our piece of paper that we've been given that says we already had a flight and all our details and stuff, and the lady pretty much says, yeah, that's cool, but there are 30 people waiting in front of you in standby, so there's a queue, you have to abide by that kind of queue. So we were like, okay, fine.
No, and then they said come back at 8 p.m. tonight. This was like 9 a.m. at this point, and we were like, okay. So we were already, the provision was already to be on standby for the next flight, for the evening flight. It's been about 21 hours since we started mission Leave Thailand, Get Back Home Safely. And I think because time has no meaning right now for us, that's why we're having a veggie burger at 9:15 in the morning.
After that, we kind of came back and kind of just sat in front of the standby desk on a bench in direct eyesight from it, and kind of just sat there looking to see if anything was changing. And so we'd pretty much pop up after and say, hi, this is our piece of paper again, just want to check if there's any updates, which was normally led to, no, as we've said, there's a queue, you're not in the queue because there are so many people in the queue, come back later. Been
speaking to other travelers trying to get home, and the provision was, so many people are trying to get home that most likely we won't get a flight till, a few days. And we were kind of thinking, what are we going to do?
Stay in the airport for a couple of days.
Sleep in the airport, stay in the airport for a few days. We were prepared to do that, So at this stage, all the people that were for the half past one flight had checked in, and so all the queue dissipates, and it's around 1:15 maybe. So Matt goes up and starts talking to them. It was really such a long shot.
Yeah, so they were walking around with a bit of paper, which to my understanding was the people who were on standby before us in the queue. They would have gotten the spot if we hadn't been there. So they were walking around checking, they were asking, hey, is anyone here going to London?
When it looked like something was actually going to happen, I then came over with the bags just to kind of give a bit more support as well, and just to see what was going to happen. So there was a lot of talk. So I gave my passport as well, and then there was a lot of talking in Thai. No one was really telling us what was going on. And then eventually, after about 10 minutes of us kind of being like, okay, do you think we're going to get a flight? Like, what? I was even thinking the flight was going to be for later. I didn't even care. I just wanted like a confirmation of a flight. I didn't even care if we had to wait another 12 hours in the airport. And then they said, Miss Gracia, can you put your bag to check in, please? And we were thinking, if it's to check in the bag now, it must be for the flight now. So we put, but again, no confirmation or anything. So I put the bag, that was fine. Then Matt put his bag, and then they give us the tickets. That was for the flight for 1:30, and at that stage it was like 20 to 2, and they said, okay, you better run through the airport, we'll fast track you through, you've got the flight. So we were literally running through the airport. We went through the fast track of security, where we hadn't even drank our bottles of water. We forgot to take them out of our bags. We were like, I had to take my shoes off, and then one shoe was kind of half falling off, and we were like running through the airport. We were probably like the last people to get on that flight. And as soon as we got on, it was like, okay, cabin crew, get ready for takeoff, you know? Yeah, we literally couldn't believe it. Fast forward about 12 hours, we get to the UK, and we have been now isolating in, we couldn't go back to where we live because we live with someone who could be
high risk.
Yeah, could be high risk. Luckily, my auntie lives in London, and she's got a basement in her house that you can access the outside. You know, it's completely independent from the upstairs. So we have been here for the last 6 days. Yeah, today's our 7th day. We are feeling healthy, we are feeling great, which is really, really good. And we have been isolating from my auntie and uncle and their very cute dog, which she is so confused about, which it just breaks your heart. But anyway, not long now, and hopefully soon we'll be able to get back to where we live, that we have all our stuff there. My brother's there as well. So it's weird times. We're so happy we were able to come back. And I just wanted to share that story with you guys, as a lot of people have been asking, where are we now and are we safe? So I hope you guys have enjoyed today's video. Please do subscribe, comment, and stay safe and stay at home. Thank you guys so much for sharing your life with me. Bye, see you next week. Hey guys, I just wanted to say a big thanks to everyone who helped us get home. Our parents were such an amazing help, and other family and friends trying to get us home back to the UK. Okay, see you guys next week for more Life with me. Apparently the most spiciest curry here. Oh god.